What's up? What's up? What's up? What's good, folks? Welcome to another episode of Men in the Village podcast. My name is Robert Howard. I also go by Mr. Howard 365 on social media. Um, just waiting for a couple of folks to get in here. Log in on my Instagram. Hey, good evening. Good evening. What's up, y'all? Good evening. Where y'all at? I'm in LA. What time zone are you in? What's up, y'all? Oh, it's later over there. Goodness gracious. I was up at 6 o'clock this morning. I've been on the go all day. And I got home and I was like, I'm going to just lay down and take a nap. No, I can't. Just do this podcast, even if nobody else gets online. Okay, come on, Arkansas. Gotcha. Gotcha. Um, when is the next event, the next dating event? Um, I'm going to shoot a live episode of the dating game. So that we could pitch it for streaming networks. And yeah, the idea is that we would do uh, what we did for the dating event for Valentine's Day for a show, and then after that, we'll do another dating event for singles. If you want to, if you're in my IG, try to tap on over to my YouTube because I can see your comments and I can engage and you can engage. Absolutely, I would love your help. It's always helpful that you're so helpful. What's up with y'all, man? What's the update? I'll give you mine, and then the homies is supposed to pop in here at some point. But what's today? Today's Thursday. Today's the 13th. Thursday the 13th. No, you did not get a new pair of wedges. I'm putting that on the screen. You know how I feel about wedges. If I see you, I'm gonna trip you, and then I'm gonna help you up. But for sure, you're going down. You're going down, down, down to the ground. Yeah. So I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I've been in love struggling. I did a 2 day workshop today at a school, a training for 2 days. It was day two of two. And I've been feeling it in my voice. I'm a little nasally congested. It's one of those seasons. So health wise, I'm feeling congested. I'm feeling tired. But I also feel good. I feel energized. Every time I do those trainings, I walk away feeling lighter and smarter and brighter for the light. So yeah, do I have ginger and honey? The answer is no. I'm sure it's somewhere in the kitchen from some occasion that I have. Yeah, I'm sure I got some honey somewhere. Ginger? I don't know if I got the ginger. I don't think I got the ginger. People just walk around with ginger in their life? That's amazing. Yeah. What else is going on in life? A couple of weeks ago, I got some bad news, uh, some work related bad news. And I've been dealing with my sadness, and I'm not sad no more. I'm okay. I'm invigorated and I'm focused. So, where are y'all at? How you feeling today on a scale of 1 to 10? What words would you use to describe how you feel today? Could have made some tea to help. I like tea, but the likeliness of me to have some tea. Rainbow, go. My dog was trying to come over here in my studio, and I put stuff to get in the way. And she's like, yeah, I'm coming over there. Anyway, how are y'all feeling? Yeah, I'm not in a sad place anymore. Like sadness comes and then it goes. It doesn't stay too long. Um, just so much to be happy about, so much to be grateful for. And I think the sadness is connected to like grief or loss or change. But so what? What's up, VA? By the way, NYC. Where in NYC? I got peoples in New York. I'll be in New York soon for some work out there. Got a contract to do. Actually, I need to call my people to see what's up with the booking. But yeah, where y'all at? How you feeling today? I shared a little bit of what's going on with me. Struggling. Been be quiet today. It's all good. I got vibes. If you need some music, Harlem. Yeah, I'll be in Harlem. Um, the last two times I did this contract, I was in the Bronx, and then I was traveling all over. I bring my camera with me, and I make content. And I take photos. Photography in New York City is top tier. So I plan on being out there and being with my camera. What's up, Houston? You're a little closer to my time zone. Um, yeah, it's still sunny out right now. It's 6, yeah, 6 o'clock. So if you hear me sniffing, that's what's up with me. It's the grown struggle. Yeah. Um, I'm focused, man. I'm really working on me. I'm working on uh, being in order to do, in order to have, going in that order. It's dark and it's cold. It's chilly outside. Like, if I went outside, I probably gonna put a sweater up. But yeah. Somebody said I got my radio voice on today. There's a little growl in it, but it's not intentional. We got a couple of topics for us to talk about. Um, yeah. Oh, update. 2 weeks ago, I talked about my 75 questions for to help people have conversation around sex, kink, pleasure, and boundaries. I've, for the last 2 years, had secretly in my phone and in my laptop uh, a deck of cards, but uh, I'm going to make it ebook so you can have it digitally in your devices. I don't have to worry about shipping. Yeah. They are going to be on my website this weekend. I'm going to make the content tomorrow because I don't have to go do a workshop and do no trainings. I'm going to make some content to promote the deck of cards because I think it was the first episode that we did on YouTube live doing the podcast conversation, and I was kind of stalling. But yeah, if you want to get into that, there are 75. Nah, let me just get into it because I think the likeliness that we'll get to some of the spicier questions is probably going to happen. And, this is YouTube, this is Instagram. I don't want to get flagged and banned. Who over there? Yeah. Um, sorry about your loss, Mercedes. We talked about grief on was it Monday? I want to say me, Charles, and AD and KP spoke about grief. We all are dealing with grief, and yeah. Y'all told me to do the Patreon. I started my Patreon, but getting people to leave a platform to go to another platform is a little hard. So in between, what I'm gonna start doing is I'll go live on YouTube and I'll tell people to go from my Instagram to my YouTube, and I will sell things on my website. Yeah, yeah, man. I got some topics for us to talk about. Let's see which one. Rob, I'm on live, brother. What you doing? With all the background noise. You ever have a studio that wasn't a studio that's next to the kitchen that your family member is using? I know all that was not for the little mini bite. Goodness gracious. Yeah. Um, I'm not trying too much cake. I will do a donut though. So today's topic is about um, honesty, openness, vulnerability, and transparency. I'll type that. Somebody type that in the chat for me. Honesty, openness, transparency, and vulnerability. Somebody do me a solid and type that in the chat. Honesty, openness, transparency, and vulnerability. And of course, the Men of the Village podcast is a space where men, thank you, I got you, Jay, appreciate that, where we are, you know, empowering men to come together, have really honest, healthy, hilarious, hope filled conversations uh, that everyone can benefit from and participate in the chat. There's also a vision for this podcast to go on tour eventually and have a conversation with people in real life. That's the vision that I see for the podcast, me and the homies, me and some specially invited guests. Yeah. You want to pick a number? Yeah, I guess before we start, you can pick a number from 1 to 75. Yeah, I'll pick a number. Pick a number between 1 and 75. Mm-mm-mm. 11. Okay, that's the first number. Let me get that. 75. Okay, number 11. This is from. All right, yeah, that might be the only one I do today. This is question 11 out of the 75 questions on the new ebook that I'll be releasing probably tomorrow night. It'll be on the website and I'll promote it this weekend. It has questions that help people talk about sex, intimacy, pleasure, kink, boundaries, desire, fantasy. Question number 11 of 75 is what sounds, tastes, or smells turn you on? We got y'all are high up. Real questions are real tough. So Ozzy says 75 and Queen said 49. Question 75 says, have you ever considered being in an open relationship? Why or why not? Question 49 says, how do you feel about being blindfolded or blindfolding your partner? All right, I'll answer the question since I'm the only Men of the Village member in there. And then we'll get to the topic of honesty, openness, transparency, and vulnerability. What sounds, smells, or tastes turn me on? Taste? I don't know about taste, man. Okay. Dang, how do you say this without being too vulnerable to get banned? I like the tastes that come with my partner, right? Yeah, it does. Being honest and open. I'm definitely being an honest and open version of myself right now. Also being vulnerable and transparent, I guess, too. When I have a partner, the taste of my partner definitely can turn me on. A silly one that I think I can answer about taste is um, I have had partners who have had children in their past, and I know what lactation tastes like. I don't know if y'all know what lactation tastes like, but yeah, that could be a thing. Uh, Shout outs to the mom. Shout outs to the mom. Shout out to the lactationers. Mighty God. Uh, yeah, y'all give me the questions. I got to get out of these questions and give it to y'all so y'all can have these conversations with your people and yourself and your crew and your friends and your family. What was the other question? Question 75. Have I ever considered being in an open relationship? Yes, I have. I've actually been in an open relationship before. I don't believe that one person can be all things. I also don't believe in possessive relationships. So my girl is my girl, but she hasn't always been my girl. And I want her to do her thing. I want her to go on vacations. I want her to have her job. I want her to kick it with her friends. I want her to have her solo time. I want her to have her life. And yeah, we came to some agreements like, hey, so this is what our rules, this is what works for us. And we gave each other permission to do certain things with each other and without each other. And yeah, I've been in an open relationship before. Question 49 was, how do you feel about being blindfolded? And how do you feel about blindfolding your partner? I do not. I don't enjoy being blindfolded. I've been blindfolded before, but I'm more likely to be the blindfold bearer. Um, yeah. I see a covered girl. If y'all want to see the chat that's happening, you should join the YouTube page. YouTube is where I'm trying to drive a lot of this traffic. I'm going live for real on a real camera on my YouTube page because you can re-watch the videos. I can make clips on my laptop from it, and YouTube pays better than any of these other formats. So I'm trying to get people to see what we're talking about. But if you really want to engage in the chat, because the chat be lit, uh, and the views mean something on YouTube, go on over to my YouTube and join the conversation in the chat. Um, did I answer the questions? I feel like I answered the questions. Look at God. All right, look. So um, the topic is honesty, openness, transparency, and vulnerability. Let's start with definitions, right? I think that if we're going to talk about something, we're going to use language, we should uh, come to a common understanding of what these words mean. So I'll start with openness. Hey, come on in here, my guy. Just let me slow down and invite to the stage. Nice hoodie.
Hey man, I got a good friend who hooked me up. So
Listen, I appreciate it. You came in perfect timing. You came after the questions from the sex deck, uh, so you don't got to answer those. Um, I took the bullets for the team. But the topic for today, I don't know if you heard it, was honesty, openness, transparency, and vulnerability. And I think we should start with definition. But before we bring voice and perspective to this topic, would love to. Someone said, Jay said, I think he should. And Covered Girl said, you were saved by the timing. I'm going to let my friend off the hook for this one because he came in after the bell. So we'll say that that opening round is over. How are you feeling today, brother? Scale of 1 to 10, where are you? How are you feeling?
yeah, man. I'm good. Let me just sort of answer that question slowly. Um, it's been a productive day, bro. Um, I've been my content strategy or my content play. I've been really consistent there. Um, I'm in the middle of a eating challenge, and I went, bro. Let me just say, I went and got on the scale today, bro. And guess what my body fat percentage is today, bro? That thing read 5.4. What?
That sounds dangerous.
What?
If you weren't trying to be so
What?
low, I would say 5.4 body fat
What?
percentage. Sounds like a
What?
super athlete.
That thing, I was like, that's impossible. And so I'm really leaning into the fitness thing. It's going well. People are benefiting, having a lot more conversation. My body is being responsive. Um, so I'm happy about that. Um, so I'm doing okay, man. That's a highlight. That's a highlight. And I've
Well,
been putting up some progress photos, man. And I've been getting good responses, but it makes me feel really insecure sometimes, you know.
wait, what? What you mean?
Yeah, man. I'll be like insecure in the sense of you ever this may sound crazy. Uh, you ever know that you look good, but it'd be like, dang, this might be too good. You know, like
Oh,
I
like
don't
you
know.
doing too much? That's how I feel on my hoochie
Yeah,
daddy shorts. When I
yeah.
put the
It's
hoochie
like
daddy shorts on, I'm like, let me make sure I got the right drawers on. Let me make sure
yeah,
I don't get the wrong angle. I
yeah.
don't know
I
if
was
they
up in
ready
there
for this.
looking rip. I can't share nothing here, or else I would. But
No, no, no. Don't do it to them. We got to go to the
yeah,
Patreon, the OnlyFans.
yeah, yeah. I definitely could start an OnlyFans with the progress photos because
Yeah.
it's right.
Congratulations,
The
brother.
V is present. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
man. Let me tell you about my body fat percentage. I don't know about.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, no. I think my last check in about 10 days ago, I dropped down. I'm steady losing body fat percentage. I think I'm at 28% body fat.
Come on,
I
come
just got
on,
20 more
come
to catch up.
on. You don't want to catch me. This ain't where you don't
No,
come
no,
down
no,
here.
no. I
Yeah.
don't want to be there. I said I want to be at about 20. That's what I told the app, the weight loss app. That's what I told myself. The
You said
scale.
about 20.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
18 to
20 would look good
20%
on you.
body fat on me would look
Yeah,
like
it would look really
I
good.
am a football player and
Yeah,
I'm going to the All Star game.
yeah. Yeah, it'll look really good. It'll look really good. I mean, you look, we already
Thank you,
had
though.
these conversations, man. You look good
I'm
now.
down. No, I'm 254.
Yes,
I was up.
sir.
I was up to 275. So just being. I haven't been consistent this week with fitness. I have said I'm not going to sacrifice content. I'm not going to sacrifice parenting, and I'm not going to sacrifice the work that I do. But I will take a nap.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I've taken naps. So yeah, I haven't been as disciplined as I was.
Well, your upswing is on the way.
Yeah. Ooh man, listen. I was sharing at the beginning of this live how about 2 weeks ago I was in a different emotional place. I shared with you the bad
Yeah,
news that I had got. I have to
yeah.
tell you the good news about the bad news that I got,
Let's
and
go.
some other news and ideas that I've been working on. But I'm just in a different energy right now. I'm like everything ain't perfect, but I'm so blessed. I have so much to be thankful for. I'm so appreciative for the things I get to still do and the opportunities that are yet to be revealed. But I know they're coming. Something amazing is happening. And, I truly believe it. You know. Cece said, "You look great." I think she's talking to you. I'll take that as a shotgun, riding shotgun in the whip, brother. But yeah, thank you for the kindness. Come on, football players. Some people like football. Some people like track. Some people like football. Some people like baseball. I feel like a football right now. If anybody on here knows me from back in the day, I grew up skinny. So uh, it was a goal of mine to put on muscle, to put on size, to have some weight on me. And then I got real buff in the gym all the time. And then after I got buff, I was tired of being heavy and being buff and hurting myself in the gym all the time. And I just stopped going. And that was the beginning of dad bod. Come on, dad bod. Somebody likes a dad bod. Um, so we're starting with honesty. The topic is honesty, openness, transparency, and vulnerability. I want to start with the definition of how I see honesty. I think honesty is, oh yeah, come on, cover girl. You can have a preference. We're not going to yuck your young. Your young shall not be yucked. If that's what you like and that's what's yummy to you, hey man, you are entitled to your perspective and opinions and preferences. Um, and I think what you're sharing is you being open and honest. I think honesty is answering a question and sharing, speaking, presenting the real. So for me, honesty is about being real, authentic. Openness is you sharing more than you're asked. Let's say that you're in a relationship with someone. If you only answered questions that your partner asked you, then you are being honest. If you are bringing things that they don't know to ask or aren't bold or brave enough to ask, that is a degree of openness. I think openness is sharing openly more than the confines of the questions or the paradigm of the norm. So honesty and openness are two different things. In relationships, I think we should be practicing all four of these elements: honesty, openness, transparency, and vulnerability. I'll start there with you, bro. For you, how do you define openness and honesty? I think you got some clicking going on. Maybe it's a
Yeah. You
thing in the
got
car.
it. It could be my sound. There's a little buzz, not a buzz,
Oh,
but
good.
it's Anyways, uh,
Oh, good.
let me honesty. Well, I mean, let me start with openness because I think that's the one that kind of hits most clearly for me. Um, Openness is about trust. Openness is about authenticity. Um, Openness is about security. And so when you're not secure, you're not open. It's about safety too, right?
Yeah.
It's openness is my willingness to give you insight into all of the things that I am without fear of judgment.
Mm.
Um, Openness is risky, and openness has to be met, in my opinion, with the level of curiosity. Like openness without curiosity is an argument in a relationship.
I agree
Uh,
with what you're saying.
and so I think a lot of relationships are experiencing honesty, but it's not open,
Yeah, I'll
right?
tell you the truth when you ask me about it. And
Correct,
when I speak, I'm only going to tell you some truth, but I know not to tell you about certain things
correct,
and not be questioning or curious about other things. I
correct,
only talk about what we talk about.
correct. Um, and there are certain things that I'm just not going to give you access to. And
Yep.
openness is not dictated by level of commitment. It's not dictated by contract. It's not dictated by title. I think openness is dictated by trust. You know,
Mm.
can I trust you to be open? Like to be open with you, not to open up to me, which is a whole different thing. Um, like openness feels inward. It feels like it's about me. Where it
Mm.
is that transparency may be, there's another way to that. And so then when we got honesty, I'm so I feel like honesty is overrated, and I mean this with
Mm.
respect to everybody who practices it, because there is a how, there's a when, there's a tone, there's a language to honesty that it seems to be on. It doesn't. It's not a. It's not something that fits everybody. And so when I think about honesty, it is like I can be honest with you, but I have to still choose my words. Like I have to make like a honesty is like in my mind, honesty is like a piece of fabric that I have to get your measurements in order to to put on you, right? I can't just it's not a one size fit all. And I think that's
Mm.
where a lot of guys make mistakes, honestly, Rob, where it is that we feel like we can be honest, but we forget that we're dealing with fabric and not clothing, right? You got
Mm.
to make it clothing
You
for
gotta
the person.
you gotta tailor it.
You got to tailor the honesty, and that's the work of the relationship. And
Mm.
you don't know that in the beginning. So what you do is you try to get them to understand the pattern of fabric. You try to get them to understand the feeling of the fabric, the weight of the fabric.
Yeah.
You try to show them that this can be something that can fit you really well. But I have to take my time in order to help you to understand what honesty looks like coming from me. And I have to help myself understand how being honest will fit on you. Um, and so I think it's a lot of work in that, but I really think it starts off as just fabric. And
Mm.
I feel like it starts off like that with yourself as well. So honesty is a consistent effort to kind of cut. It's like it's so interesting, man. All of these fitness examples, but it feels like every year you'll have to make adjustments because your body looks differently, unless you've been practicing the same type of thing, and that way you know how it fits. You see what I'm saying? Like it, and so a lot of relationships can't get there because they don't last long enough, or people don't feel like they can be honest, and so as a consequence things just don't fit, and the person has changed and their sizes have changed, lengths have changed, their shapes have changed, and so there's some misalignment there. So that's my I'm not trying to sound real high level. I'm just talking about what comes to my head
Yeah,
when I think
that's where
about
we start.
and openness in relationships.
So I like where you're going. I think that what I heard from you about your definition for what honesty, I mean, what openness is actually because of the vehicle that transparency and vulnerability is. So if on level one of this conversation, there's honesty and openness, I say there's a pathway to a deeper level of openness through vulnerability or and transparency. So
Absolutely.
one of the ways that I can be open is to be transparent. Transparency to be able to see, to show, right? So I can turn the camera to show you more of the room. I can actually widen the shot. 16. I can show you. Like, really, there's two lights over there. There's a light, and you can see the angle differently, right? Like, I'm giving you access to see. Transparency is about showing and seeing. Because if I'm being honest, when I'm doing shots to make content, I'm very conscious about what's in the shot. There was one shot last week where I had just did 3 loads of laundry and they were all on the couch. And I was doing a version of my gratitude where I was moving the camera and one of the angles was hella stuff on the couch. And I definitely got messages like, yo, what's up with stuff on the couch? And I'm like, that's because I was being
Transparent.
transparent. I could have purposely cut it out. I could have reshot it. I could have changed the angle before I pushed record. I could have used AI to make a pretend background, but I was being open through a form of transparency. I'm going to show you more than I got to. The other route to openness or depth of openness can come for me through vulnerability. And for me, vulnerability is availing myself to be hurt by sharing something, giving access or permission to be with something that is valuable, sacred, or important to me. So, you spending time with my family, you spending time in my home is a form of vulnerability. You can break something. You can tease me about it. You can spread rumors about it. You can break something. Those are all elements of vulnerability. Me showing you my house is transparency. Me letting you in my house is vulnerability.
Yo, that's so good. That's so good. Can I like, bro? Like, I feel like I have an explanation of what it might be for me that might be really clear
Yeah, go
for, and I know that this will evolve as the conversation evolves. Um, so for me, and I'm going to use a book as an example. So for me, honesty is telling you that this is a book, and honesty is showing you the book cover. Honesty is, yep, this is a book, and it's a thick book. It's got pages. You may even see the title. You may see the decorations. It may be hardcover. It may be soft cover. That's honesty. And so it is external. The it is where the surface actually begins. And it's fascinating because honesty, while people are begging for it, it's the least deep of the ones that are on the screen.
yeah.
So honesty is that. And then the second one was, what was it? Openness. So then openness is you can read what's inside of my book. You
Mm,
get to read it. I'm going to let you open it up and you get to read it. And I will allow you to carry an interpretation because most people don't get to read the book,
yeah,
right? And so honesty and openness are still primarily safe for me because I have not had to contribute as much. I've just had to honor what it is. It's a book,
yeah.
and you've gotten to read it. Transparency is me telling you what you're reading.
Yeah, the stories behind the story.
Right? Because
Yeah,
when
that's
you're
really
reading
good.
it, you don't know what you're reading. I let you read it. You know it's wrapped in a cover, but I have not contributed to your understanding.
Yeah,
That would be transparency. I'm telling you what it is you're reading. Vulnerability is giving you permission to have an exchange with me and go back and forth with you to try to resolve whatever pops up after I
yeah,
have
that's good.
told you what it is that it actually means. That's vulnerability. It is
Yeah, because you
I'm
could
letting
judge it. You can tease me. You could, what I mean, tell people about it. The confidentiality can be broken.
yeah, we could
Yeah,
go deeper when we are having a meaningful exchange and I'm allowing you to do it. Like so vulnerability, like the other day when I was talking online and we were having what I felt to be a very, very sacred conversation in public.
yeah, yeah. We had
That
a
was
public, safe, vulnerable conversation.
very vulnerable because I shared the story, y'all read the story, I interpreted the story, and then we started exchanging. And I think
Yeah,
that some people jump from honesty and expect vulnerability. And you can't that's not developed overnight, bro. That's not instantaneous. And if it is, it's because you're a stranger, we're never gonna talk again.
yeah,
Right? So it is a moment where a safe environment has been created, but there is no longevity to it. So there is a a spontaneous vulnerability. It is why some people I think get upset when they discover that their partner has been vulnerable with another person in ways that they can't be with them, right?
yeah,
And a lot of it is because, well, I don't even expect to see them again. I don't expect to ever have to go back there. So whatever outcome of the vulnerability, I don't ever have to see again. It's in another country, it's in another state. We ain't in touch like that.
yeah.
And so I don't have to be concerned about how they manage all of that. So anyways, yeah, that's my book description. Yeah.
I like that. I'm gonna use the doctor, a medical professional, as an example.
Mm, mm.
Me going to the doctor and saying, "Doc, I have a problem," is me being honest. There are questions in response to that. I should be honest and open about the stories and what is causing the stress or the bump or the heat or the fever or the sickness so that they can have more perspective to prescribe and diagnose and all the stuff that comes with that.
Mm.
Two ways to be more open specifically is to be transparent and vulnerable. If I'm disrobing, I'm being transparent. If I'm allowing them to examine my body, I'm being transparent. Vulnerability is me giving them the story and access to poke, prod, cut, stitch, where I can be hurt by this,
It's good, sir.
right? Like that's where I think the dance of transparency and vulnerability is. And I think the struggle in a lot of relationships, even with families and friends, is we believe because we talk about how telling the truth and how much we want people to be honest with us, and I'm an honest person, and even in casual conversation, I'm gonna just be honest right now. It's like honesty is so talked about, but more than practicing honesty as a thing that comes from me, I want to practice openness. I want to practice vulnerability. So every day I get on the internet, I ask myself a question in public, and I share a story and my answer and my perspective and my thoughts and my definitions and my reasons and my goals. And I'm being open. I'm being honest. I'm being transparent. But when I start to share my feelings and my fears and my goals and my hopes and the story of disappointment and the trauma, I'm also practicing vulnerability.
That's good, bro. That's good, bro.
What does it make you think about with our expectation that other people, especially that we're in relationship with, will do these four things under the guise of relationship very well and very often. What does it make you think about?
I'm troubled by the question. Um, all of these things cause me to wonder about the relationship. It brings me to a level of inquiry. Um, it also, I don't know, pushes me inward, really. You know, vulnerability is a real gift of mine. I know how to do that. And sometimes I can't. And so there's almost, if these things were present in the relationship, I don't know if I would believe it. You know,
Yeah.
it, you know, there's, and I'm not saying that, I'm just, you know, just me being, you know, straight up and down. Because long-term relationships, marriages, co-parenting, you actually build
Long-term
infrastructure.
friendship, business.
Yeah, you build infrastructure to protect your understanding of these things, and you learn how to navigate that infrastructure. Good point. Let's just sort of come about the deep water. Why can't I ask a woman what her age is? Or why can't we have a conversation about your weight? Right?
I
Or
tell you what I don't like or what doesn't feel good.
yeah. Or why do you consistently seek affirmation for how you look aesthetically, but never ask a question about if anybody has an opinion about your emotions, right? Like, it's a dance. And so there's just so many questions that spring up. And all of these are opportunities for growth. I also don't know how realistic it is for all of them to be present simultaneously. I feel like you have to almost hero or shiro in one area or two areas before you can really get to the other areas. And I think I think, not to jump to a solution, but I think about, so after I think about that, I'm like, so then the thing that makes the relationship valuable is understanding that you have a hold on one of these. Like, at least we're honest, or at least we're transparent, or at least we're vulnerable, or, you know, at least we're open. And to take the pressure off of whatever relationship, connection, engagement you're in, and allow yourself to perfect or master one of these so that you can still get to the level of understanding with the individual. Like, you don't need all of these to understand the individual. This takes me to another place as I'm reflecting about it.
Okay, go.
Because I'm not sure that all of these have to be present in order to enjoy the relationship. I think a relationship can give to you what you need from it without having all of these. And if you then try to make a relationship something else when it wasn't even built or designed or created or sustained to give you that, like, you may not need vulnerability for what you're getting from the relationship. You may not need transparency for what the relationship is designed to do. Like you start thinking about, like, bro, you're a mentor. I'm a pastoral leader. I've been a pastoral leader, and you can't have all four of these in a pastoral.
Not in certain roles, no.
No. You can't, because the relationship isn't designed to do that. Not both ways.
And the position isn't designed to do that. Like, as a father, you got to be careful how much you share, how much someone knows, how much you even talk freely around your child, because too much of the vulnerability and transparency can wound your role and wound the person you care about, right? Even in the workshop today, I did a training, day 2 of one of my trainings, bro. I honestly shared the reason why we have the Fifth Amendment in the Constitution, um, you have the right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself, which is you saying, I'm not going to answer your question and I'm not going to tell you what I really did. You're going to have to figure it out without me telling you, because I don't have to put myself in danger. There's punishment on the table. So me confessing to you what I did and how I did it and who I did it with, that level of openness, honesty, vulnerability, and transparency leads to immediate punishment. And I don't have to make it worse for myself. So if you're going to do the punishment, just do it anyway. For me in relationships, I don't actually desire all of these. I think they're a form of control. Like, to some degree, my partner can be dishonest. Because who's going to be honest 100% of the time if you're afraid of the consequences for your own traumas, your own personal stances on things, or because you know me a certain way, or we have our past experiences? You have a choice to make decisions, and then from those decisions, I make decisions too. But some people, like after hurt, they're like, well, tell me all the details of it. Tell me what the plan was, how you were feeling at the time, who you was with, what you did with them, who else knew, what was it like? Did you like it more? Did you do you want to end it? Were you planning on coming back? Were you planning on me never finding out? Like, they want to know everything, and it's like super honest, super vulnerable, super transparent, super vulnerable. And for me, I'm like, I don't actually have to know the answers to all those questions. I don't desire to know all the things about the things that are not my business. It's not my business. You're over there, things that happened I didn't know about, almost to the point where, like, when I have a girlfriend in my life or a special lady in my life, and she's like, hey, babe, can you hand me my purse? Inside my purse there's a key. I'll go get the whole damn purse. I don't even want to look in your bag to accidentally see a thing that makes me think and then ask a question that I hope that you will be answered honestly. And why weren't you open? I don't want to look at your phone. I don't want to know your password. Not because I think you're doing something wrong. I just know that my question superpower will lead me down a path of curiosity that will likely end up hurting me.
Yeah. So honesty and openness by choice. Honesty and openness for self-preservation, for relational integrity, right? Honesty,
You can't
open.
handle the truth. Like, that is a man.
Listen, and you have to see. This is what I'm saying. Now I feel like we're at the meat of it. So you see these words, and they look so attractive, and they sound so good coming out your mouth, but you have not necessarily done an audit to see if you can handle what it is that you think you understand.
Right.
That's a thing. And sometimes people are demanding things with full knowledge that they are only seeking permission to disrupt their own peace. Like they're asking for access that they're not prepared to manage. Case in point. That's why a lot of people who get access to high level rooms sometimes never get access again. Because
Right.
you went
And
to the space
yeah.
and you didn't know what to do. You don't, it is why you have to, like, when I be taking people into places, and I have to say thank you to my friends now. Um, tell me what I'm going into. Don't walk me in there blind, because I want to be able to give you an honest response. I'll give you. Can I be really transparent?
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was hanging with some guys one time, and we were in a space that will not be named. And they was like, "Yo, you want to go and hang out? You want to go to a club?" I was like, "Yeah, for sure." And I said, "Sure." We showed up, bro, and it was, I can't even remember the name of it. It was a place where people explored their sexual pleasures. It wasn't a strip club. It wasn't nothing
It's like
like that.
one of them parties and kink
Yeah,
parties
let's
or
kind of like a sex
swingers.
party.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a sex party, but people weren't necessarily having sex, but they were exploring pleasure. It was a pleasure party.
Yeah. There you
And
go.
he didn't tell me that I was going to a pleasure party. So now I walk up in here, And there are vendors here. I'm shaking their hand. They holding my hand a long time. I'm looking like, and then I started looking at the signage, and then, I'm in the spot, and I ain't, we ain't leave. I ain't go off. I was just like, I don't even know how to act in here.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? Why are they smiling so big?
Right.
What are you wearing? Stuff like that. And so thankfully I've been in enough places by surprise to know how to manage myself. But it could have gone all bad. And that would have yielded, yo, you can't come back in here no more.
Oh,
So,
no. And pause. Don't forget what you were saying. In that same moment, if you go and you have a relationship with the wrong partner, you telling the truth wounds their trust because they don't believe the truth because they think of something else. And they're like questioning and holding on to their own perspectives or their own traumas or what their own beliefs are. So you could have actually escaped from doing anything wrong in a room that was full of temptation or full of foolery. But now you have a relationship issue that if you would have just shut up and didn't say something, you're like, all right, so now I know I can't tell you everything and I shouldn't tell you everything because if I tell you the truth, you don't believe the truth and you create a whole lie that I should have done. Then if I was in there doing nothing, I should have done something.
I've said that so many times, like I knew I should have kept that damn thing to myself.
I've done that so many times in relationships.
Knew I should have just shut it, but the damn, here I go trying to be open. Here
too
I go
open.
trying to be
I'm
honest.
too vulnerable. I'm too honest. I'm too.
But see,
because
that's
they can't
why,
handle the truth.
so I remember I was talking with what is now a really good friend of mine, and I was saying, yo, if you choose a relationship and it is good to you and you like it, you also have to acknowledge what it cannot do. What I mean by that is, if this is a place for you to experience transparency, but you can't get love out of it, stop trying to get love out of the transparency. Like, don't try to advance the relationship in areas where you have already discovered that it can't go there. Let me try to be real clear because I don't get what I'm saying twisted. I'm not saying don't try to grow. I'm not saying don't acknowledge where there are opportunities to make things better. But I am saying one of the things that challenges a relationship sometimes is that you try to make it something that it is not. And the truth is, even in my relationship now, I can't be as transparent as I want to be. And that doesn't mean that the relationship is terrible. That just means that I might have other relationships where I can practice that transparency, nurture that transparency, and maybe come back to this relationship because it's better for openness or it's better for honesty versus trying to judge the relationship's value because it can't accommodate all of my transparent needs. I think it's unfair, particularly if you have grown to the level of need for transparency that you didn't come to the space with.
Right.
So now you're asking something of someone and you gave them the deal up front and they agreed to that version. But now the version has changed. And you mad at them because they can't change with it. But they were at capacity when they said yes the first time.
And they're doing a good job on the other things that you needed in the other season. But now in this new season, you have a new need for transparency or vulnerability or being able to handle your wild new world of telling truths. Yeah.
Oh no, I may be going too far, but I'm just saying, like, I was like, you don't have to kill that relationship because it couldn't evolve with you. You still have needs in the area. You still have needs in the area where the relationship is, and you want to have those needs fulfilled. This doesn't work in every scenario, so we can go.
No, of course. We're talking about a hypothetical, not super specific one relationship. But I think that where you're going in the conversation, it makes me think about how if I'm doing a good job of not allowing or expecting honesty, openness, vulnerability, and transparency, if I'm doing a good job of not using that as a control mechanism, then it's not an expectation on the other end or demand on the other end. It's more about this is a practice that I want to practice, and I practice to the degree that I can with you, almost like a sport. When we play basketball, this is how we play. You know, maybe you're really trying to focus on your handle. That's cool. I appreciate that I get to play and work on my handle with you, but I really also want to get better at my conditioning. I want to get better at my 3 point shooting. I want to get better at my passing. So it requires me to go other places, other relationships, other opportunities to develop my practice to get better at the other things that are important to my game or my life. And it's unfair to expect one important relationship to be able to meet all the needs of any one person.
Yeah. Okay. I got like 2 minutes
Yeah, do what you gotta do, bro.
because they're about to get out of practice. I got to go be a good daddy. Um,
Yay.
I think this is a tremendous conversation. I see the question in the chat. It's like, oh,
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm gonna stay
so
in good
if I get back to the house and you're still on, I'll pop back in.
for
Uh,
sure.
but I think it's a tremendous conversation. I think part of what makes this conversation so important is the criticism, the weight, some of the dark memories that we have about the relationships that have potential.
Hmm.
I think it also sort of knocks on the door of future relationships. I think it expands and widens the perception of the relationships that we are involved in and trying to build. And it also provides some language to have some much needed discussions as it relates to what you're saying to yourself. Because I know when I'm not open, I know when I'm not being honest, I know when I have hidden away my vulnerability, and I know when I'm not being transparent. And sometimes I realize that that's going to create a situation where the relationship will not hit its potential. I still do it anyway. And so there's opportunity to have a lot of discussion about that. I think the other side of it is it also gives me an opportunity to explain to people why there isn't any transparency, or what is it that triggered the lack of vulnerability, or point to where honesty was mismanaged and how that has impacted my ability to develop other relationships, and how that might be a conversation you want to have before you enter into partnership with somebody. Like when
Like deep commitment. Yeah.
yeah, I tell them like, yo, if you can't trust me, then you don't need to work with me, right? Uh, so, anyways, before I dig too deep into that, I salute you. I love you. I'll talk to you later, bro. You got it right.
Yeah, man. Safe travels. Enjoy your time.
Yeah.
I'll keep the conversation going with the chat. See you later, bro. So the question in the chat that is kind of loud right now to me and my brain is, if you're at the beginning stages of building partnerships, why can't the first building blocks be encouragement, vulnerability, honesty, trust, then show up mutually for each other? I think it can be. So, like, I don't know if you were in the room, but I was talking about my deck of cards that has now turned into an ebook that I'll have on my website, a discounted rate tomorrow. It's 75 questions to talk about sex, pleasure, desire, kink, fantasy, boundaries. Um, the reason why I think these questions are very valuable is not because you get to get the secrets from each other. I think that it's more about practicing honesty and practicing um, compassionate questioning and vulnerable sharing. One example of that is when someone's dating and they want people to be honest with each other. You want your person to be honest with you, they want the same thing from you. But you're just not asking certain questions because you're like, I don't know how they're going to take it. Or you're not being open about certain things that you like or want or desire or have done and don't like and never want to do it. You're not talking about them. You know that these are things that are important, and this person should know, but they don't know to ask those questions. You'll eventually get to the place where y'all gonna have to deal with the thing eventually. But you just don't want to ask it too early. You just kind of want to not rock the boat. You want to talk about other things, and you want to avoid talking about certain things because it might be ugly. For example, asking the partner, have they ever done A, B, and C? Or even more vulnerably, tell me about a time where you felt or have done A, B, and C. That is all the honesty, transparency, vulnerability, you know, all that, and allowing yourself to feel the emotions that come from that, which could be disgust or jealousy or confusion or excitement or whatever, and just listen and practice being a good listener to someone that you are developing an attraction with. Uh, and you work on yourself and your ability to listen and give them space without judging them and growing through it. It's hard for some people to talk about their past relationships or their past sex partners, good ones and bad ones, things that were pleasurable and things that were painful or traumatic. I think it's really easy for us to talk about times where we were hurt and wounded by something because we're a victim, and it's easier to sit and tell a story when you're in the victim seat. But when you're dating somebody, to talk about pleasure that you had with somebody else, or a good relationship with somebody else, or something you discovered about yourself with somebody else, it's like, nah, I don't know if they can handle that. They might take it the wrong way. My openness might wound an opportunity for us to like each other. So people aren't talking. I I'm bold enough to be like, hey, let's talk about all this stuff. I want to talk about everything. And what you say that makes me react isn't about you. It's more about me. Like, why does that make me feel or think or make my body react this way? Like, what is it about what you're saying that is getting my body to react and making me feel and making me think? Like, it's a discovery opportunity for me. I appreciate honesty, vulnerability, transparency, openness. There's a lot of podcasts on the internet where the hosts and the guests are talking about women need to go through their whole phase and men need to um, sow their royal oats, but nobody wants to talk about that stage because you might tell this person about your fantastic host stage and him sowing his royal oats, but then this person doesn't have the capacity to understand it and not judge you from a past that you didn't have to tell them about. That's the reason why people don't talk openly, honestly, vulnerably, and transparently. Yeah. Ebella Love says, agreed, because my transparency of being a SA victim is not sure about a kink, right? You're probably considered vanilla in the spectrum of kink, but with the right, safe environment, it could help. Absolutely, it could help you heal. There's some uh, therapists in that specialty that will say uh, one path to healing is to deal with it and deal with the disgust or deal with the attraction and deal with the desire and deal with the fantasy and deal with the curiosity and deal with the questions that come from trauma, abuse, neglect, exposure, and not shame yourself for the results of this thing. But we won't allow ourselves to heal because we're so comfortable being in the position of what we are, a victim of something, that becoming a new thing, which is someone who's going on a healing journey, is a little scarier. So I'd rather sit in the cave than to go outside and find sunlight and fresh water and flowers and have to find food and bring it back and do the work. So I'll just stay here in the cave. Yeah. I'm curious about if anybody who's listening and in the chat, what does this topic about men specifically, but people in general, having to work through, figure out, and practice honesty, openness, vulnerability, and transparency? Yeah. You are not about to make me cry, Mr. Howard. Hey, man, that's one of my gifts too, is I create spaces and moments where people get to feel. So if you cry, I'll take it as a compliment. And if you don't, I'll take it as a compliment. Yeah. Someone said in the Instagram chat, you have to feel it to heal it. Now, a lot of us won't allow ourselves to feel. We will run from feeling. We will block it. We will numb ourselves with alcohol and drugs and distractions and fun and people, so we don't have to feel it. Yeah. Yeah. Any questions for me while we're still in here? We did our hour. I'm about to go have a content night with another one of my brothers. We're working on, I think it's the fourth or fifth annual Black Women's Appreciation Brunch that we do in Los Angeles. Uh, you just gonna call me? All right. Yeah, call you out? Yeah. It's not just you. In my trainings, I have always at least one baka issue, sometimes two, uh, because I might cry. You see, if you were on a live with us Monday, was it YouTube live? No, it was Instagram live. Two of the homies on the call cried. A couple weeks before that, I was absolutely uh, crying. Uh, what up, Daniel? What up, family? Um, yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing to be able to feel. Just be grateful for the fact that I feel. And then sometimes art and people and moments and memories and food and travel and stuff makes us feel. And it doesn't always have to feel good. It's not. We're not designed to always like, yummy. Everything is good. Everything is nice. That's a dangerous life to live. We're supposed to feel the broad scope of things. How can you empathize with somebody who has pain if you've never felt pain? How can you empathize and have compassion for someone who's grieving if you've never grieved, had to live with loss? How can you have understanding for someone who is sad if you've never been sad or depressed? We have to feel it if we're going to be in a relationship with other people. So I encourage us to do a better job of not running away, not numbing, not distracting, and letting someone in to let us know not just when you feel good things, but when you feel the not so good things. I think I use social media now as a place to practice. I've posted a video every day on the vertical style of short form video every day for over 4 years now. The new series of 110 days, I've been doing a gratitude every day. I've been doing a question of the day every day, almost a year now, where I ask a question and I share it in my car with a side shot instead of just asking questions that people can use. I've opened up and practiced vulnerability. And um, I think I'm better off for it. Even if y'all don't watch the video, I recorded it and I posted it, and people who will see it will see it. Those who like it will. Those who won't will. Those who understand will. Those who don't will. Those who send it in tease and talk stuff about behind my back because they don't like me or don't like what I said. That's okay. I'm still gonna be vulnerable. I'm still gonna be real. I'm still gonna be honest. I'm still gonna show up. And in spite of what scary things could come, I show up anyway and do it anyway. I'll share with y'all when I got bad news and I had a bad day and I'm not feeling good or I'm just tired or I'm going through something or I need something or I just recovered from a surgery or you know I'm struggling in some area because I can't run away. Some people, with content, they post when everything is good. They show you, oh, I got a new car, I got a new job, got a new home, got new stuff, I got a new outfit, but they will not post and they will not be real with you when things are not going good. I don't want to be that. I think that I already know how to do that. So with the content, I was like, I think I'll be a better person through this content game, posting every day, but also posting very honestly. So y'all see me when I don't feel good, even right now. Yeah, I had surgery. I had 2 cysts removed. It's somewhere down, probably like 2 years ago now, but I had a surgery to have a cyst removed on my forehead, and then I had one on my back, on the back of my neck. I have like a keloid on there now. But the surgery was supposed to be easy and quick, right? Like after like 2 days, I was supposed to be able to take off the bandage, and no one's supposed to be able to see it. But no one on my face got infected, and my face swelled up. So I made content about that. I was just being honest, like, yo, I made a decision to have a surgery so I could feel better about how I look on camera. But here I am looking crazy on camera, and now I got to heal. Yeah, it was a real season, and I felt terrible. I felt like, man, I should have done this. But I didn't run away or hide. I just came to the camera and was like, look, I'm gonna ask this question looking like Eeyore. I've gained weight. I've lost weight. And there have been times when I was super excited because I got a new check and I got a new opportunity. I started talking to a new boo. And, some good things is going on in my life, and it's like you can kind of see it in the energy. I'm up. The other times I'm dragging when I push record. Like, hey there, beloved. Here's a question of the day. Like you can hear it in my voice. I'm tired. I'm sick. I'm angry. I'm sad. I'm confused. I'm, I'm, I'm human, and that is what I think. Yeah, I was beat up like Leroy. Remember the episode where Martin got beat up by Hitman Hearns? I look like that, but it's on the content. You just got to go through it. Today I'm a little congested, majorly. Thank you so much. But I feel fine. I just sound. I guess it's like my morning voice is very scratchy. I don't get to have all the emotion and tone in it. It's very raw. And it is what it is. Can you give me a heck yeah? Hugs? Free hugs, no charge? Yeah. Here's me being normal. He was a chocolate chip cookie in human form. For sure he was. Um, One of the things that I'm working on behind the scenes is figuring out how to monetize my content in a different way, and then growing in my skill sets to make content that people resonate, connect, and engage with. Um, and then also help other people. Yep, I'm absolutely going to be there in Commerce, April 25th and 27th. My brother AD's conference in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'll be there looking good as possible, smelling good as possible, not sleeping in the Trap Hotel. Yeah, free hugs. I don't charge nobody on these hugs. I think my hugs are amazing. Like if you are comfortable getting a real hug from me, uh, I intentionally hug people with like a connection. Like I want you to feel supported and held, and lifted up, and loved. Uh, my daughter's like, Dad, you give the best hug, and she biased. But, friends have also said that people in the work that I do around the world. You don't know the story, for instance? Last year when I was at the conference, I booked my hotel room while we were driving from Atlanta to Chattanooga, which is like an hour and a half, 2 hour drive. And while I was driving on my phone, which I shouldn't have been doing, I booked a trap hotel, thinking it was an okay hotel. Never had been to Chattanooga, didn't know what the conference was, didn't know the address, just put in Chattanooga, Tennessee, found a deal, and it was basically a trap motel. And I will not be doing that again. I will be at a better hotel. Sure. Yeah, we can. When I think about the itinerary, I'm probably going to get into Atlanta at least a day early so I can relax and enjoy Atlanta. I love Atlanta. Um, Go do something cool. Go get some food. Go do something Atlanta-ish. And then in the morning, driving in because the conference is usually Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, with Friday night being a welcome, a mixer for the VIPs and people who want to meet and mix and mingle. Um, and then I think the last year we did an all-day conference Saturday with the workshops and the speakers and the panels. I'll be a panelist or something, uh, and also find ways other ways to support AD in this conference. And then Sunday there was a worship service. So come on, Atlanta, heck yeah! No, I'm definitely not staying at the Trap Hotel. I knew I was in the Trap Hotel because they had like bulletproof glass, buzzers, and they also took cash as a security deposit at the hotel. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I know where I'm at. Because if a hotel takes cash as a security deposit, you don't need to put a credit card there. You can just get your cash back on checkout. I know what they be doing there. The conference is going to be amazing this year. Yeah, if you can't make it this year, come to the next one. April 25th through 27th. It's going to be a lot of good people. It's for people who are, you know, multi-passionate, multi-talented, multi-hyphenated lifestyles. Jack of all trades. What's your last comment? Goodness, girl, what you say? No, you cannot hug me with wedges. Well, listen, you can, but you might get some jokes. You know, yeah, that's what these moments are supposed to do. You know, as we're building community and we're finding new, friendships and partners and sisters and brothers and family, community. We need to find ways and seasons and places to come together in real life, not just on this internet thing. So, uh, no, I think Charles stayed at the Embassy Suite in Chattanooga. It wasn't far from the conference was on the campus of one of them colleges, so yeah, it wasn't far. It was far from where I was at though. I was in the trap. Wedges are a yuck. No, please do not. No, I know some people are height little, but you are big enough and grown enough that you can put on a regular nice heel, a boot, a chunky heel, a stiletto, a platform stiletto. You can do anything. You can put on a sandal, a sneaker, uh, uh, Doc Martin boots. By the way, I posted some pictures today, some Doc Martin boots, and it definitely was giving the Jodeci vibe. I don't know if y'all seen that. I don't know what I'm gonna look like this year. I might come suited. You know. Yeah. Listen, I am an amazing, immaculate hugger. Yeah. Any questions before we get out of here? We're talking about vulnerability, honesty. Ain't nobody trimming them 6'4", 6'3". Nobody shooting 6'4". Nobody scared of tall people. Ain't nobody scared of short people. Do your thing. Your knees are not healthy enough for stilettos. You get you some knee braces up under that outfit. You know what I'm saying? They got the ones that the football players got with the braces in it, like the metal beam. It's like a hinge, like Forrest Gump had. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Them knees will be good. You see my knees in the picture? I was squatting. Did anybody get the joke? The Good Knees song was playing in the background where I was. Anyway, a couple people got it. Any questions? Any closing thoughts? All right, guess we're gonna get out of here. Yeah, be free. I don't charge nobody if you don't have before that. I'm there. Listen, Miss Lady, you know I'm serious about the wedges. Don't you be up. I am going to Magic City. I'm probably not going to Magic City. I'm probably going to Blue Flame. On the Thursday, if I get in early the way I think, they got some amazing wings. I'm also going to go to Honeybee, give me some soul food, and then I'm going to enjoy that. Yes, sir. And don't judge me. If I go and get my wings at Blue Flame or If it's a Monday or a Sunday or whatever magic, I might. I mean, I'm eating a honey wing. Exactly. Don't judge me. Don't yuck my yum, because I came for the wings, amen. I feel like I'm being judged. Thank you. I'm trying my very best to be my very best. Today we were talking about honesty, vulnerability, openness, and transparency. And what you are watching is me experimenting and working out these four values as well as ethics. And when I'm talking about what I like or what I plan to do or what my goals are, my fears and my stories and my opinions and all the stuff on the internet with strangers, uh, I'm trying to be honest, trying to be real, trying to be vulnerable, trying to be open, trying to be transparent. And I hope that I will find people who respect me, accept me, love me, try to understand me, tolerate me, work with me in spite of our differences and our opinions, and all the stuff. Thank you. I love y'all more. You don't know. Y'all coming in here for the podcast has made me feel like I am on track. One of my dreams that I have for my life, that anybody who knows me well, and if you watch my videos, I've shared it, is for years I've had a camera that is an absolute pro level content creating camera. And I wanted to be a YouTuber. Before YouTube was super popular, uh, I bought cameras, I got mics, I got lights, I got lenses, expensive lenses. I would get a camera backpack. Some of these bags over here, 14 years old. And I was insecure, I was uncomfortable, I was unsure, I was overthinking it. And I would take the camera places, but not pull it out. I might set it up, but not push record. I might push record, but not edit. Not edit the video, sometimes edit the video, and not upload the video. Um, yeah, I moved the podcast to Thursday. Yeah. I think one of the homies is going to start doing something on Wednesday, so I'll be in there sometimes on Wednesdays. But I'm going to do this on Thursdays, but I'm also thinking about doing a daily live on YouTube. Uh, just positivity checking, good news, praise reports, celebrating and kudoing small victories, uh, quotes of the day, gratitudes, the positive stuff that not everybody can do and not everybody even cares about. But one of my goals is to monetize my YouTube as soon as possible. So when you guys watch uh, my live on YouTube, it matters. Like, thank you to those who are kind of trying to engage in the IG, but it doesn't really change my income. But if I can get monetized on YouTube, when I post videos on YouTube, I can start to make money on YouTube. And yeah, so watching on Instagram is cool, but if you can get over to the YouTube, it really means more to watch it over there. Yeah, thank God for notifications. I haven't really got it cracking yet. I'm still trying to learn this thing. I changed my mic to a podcast mic and not my music mic. The first week, the mic didn't sound good, so I changed that. I set up my new headphones. I got the sound effects cracking. I'm about to load. Actually, when I get off of here tomorrow, I'm gonna load some different sound effects. Yeah, my goal is to be a professional content creator. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Yeah. Covered girl, you said you had a question. What's your question? Appreciate you, Dave. Covered girl, what's your question? You want to hear some of the rhymes? Here's what I would say. I used to do music. I used to produce and write and DJ. I wasn't really the behind the mic. I'm just a little muffled. Uh, my voice uh, is scratchy because I've been talking for the last 3 days. It's one of all-day workshops, and I'm congested. So I sound a little bit muffled. It might be the setup, but it's probably me. You can add sounds. Um, Look at Rode, RODE. They have boards that like targeting. Don't go to Target right now, but Best Buy sells them too. You could get a board, and those boards allow you to load sounds. Rode mics are super solid. This is a Rode mic, and it goes to a Rode board, and the board connects to the laptop. The laptop also receives the Sony camera to over here the whole thing. What was I saying? Oh, if you wanted to know more about the music, um, when I stopped pursuing the music industry full time, I put out an album for my son, and it is. Oh, thank you. If you search BuddyBot on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, BUDDY-DOT, that is the first project in music, a children's project, 100%. But it's the first time I released any song with my voice in it at all. BuddyBot was something I recorded. I made the beat myself. I recorded it in my bedroom after my mom was passed. My son was born. Music had died. I had all this equipment. I just wanted to make some cool songs for my son. He's now 18, but at the time he was 0. If you look on YouTube for BUDDY bot, BuddyBot, it is a character that I created in 2007. I think I put it out in 2009. Yeah. There's also a project called Lil Sleepy, which is another children's project. I Am Not the Voice. My good friend, one of my best friends, his name is Mac Royals. He's the voice, he's an amazing singer. He was on The Voice with John Legend, the top 10. He's the voice of that character. And the dream before COVID messed it up was for us to independently put out music and create a TV show where Mr. Howard was like the black Mr. Rogers. So I changed my name in 2019 while working on those lullabies. 2019, right before my daughter was born. So basically, we were making that project for my daughter. I made a puppet. You can look at my highlights on Instagram and see how I made the puppet and what the puppet looked like. It's on like my page, all the way to the right. You never swiped on my Instagram page, the little bullets right below the bio and the kind of stuff. They have clips, video clips. I learned on YouTube how to sew and I made a puppet because another one of my dreams is to do TV shows. And one of my shows, besides the dating show and the self-care show, is to do a children's show. So Mr. Howard is actually it's a question of what if Mr. Rogers was a black man from LA with tattoos in the hood but not hood? What would that look like? Hey, I'll read some stories. Would y'all join my Patreon? You could tell me what book to read and I would read it. As a matter of fact, I did a book club right after COVID where I was talking about relationship books because a lot of my content was about relationships. This is a book that I absolutely recommend. It changed the way I looked at love. Yeah, come on. I might do a Patreon where I read books. That's a good idea. Any other questions? Those are 2 places you can get some of the music. I have a Patreon. It is, what is it? Mr. Howard is the song on that one too? I'll add it to my bio tomorrow when I put up the questions about intimacy and fantasy and pleasure and boundaries. How'd you miss every Zoom? That's ridiculous. You got to join the group. We have really good conversations about love and learning and about stuff. Maybe I'll bring the book stuff back. I'm dropping 2 ebooks this week. Should I do a audiobook version? Should I do an audiobook version of my books where I read the books when I read the question? Would you care about that? Jennifer said, yeah. I know a lot of people listen to audiobooks when they read physical page books, and sometimes they do both at the same time. Audiobook. Thank you. Yeah, that's the reason why I have a desire to do a third project, Lullaby. So, yeah, physical books are still valuable. Ebooks are cool, when you swipe on a screen. But some people listen to audiobooks, even if they're not listening to read along and learn. It's just good background noise. So, come on, man. Give me some dollars. My Patreon, my Cash App is in the bio. You know what I'm saying? You see me working. Instagram ain't paying me no money. YouTube ain't monetized yet. I've been putting in all this work for 4 years. And help a brother. You see me trying. Go to the website, download something, buy something. Yeah. So, for Florencia, I don't know if you know, but I have an ebook that I'm dropping tomorrow of 75 questions about sex, pleasure, kink, fantasy, boundaries. So maybe I do an ebook version, audio book version. If you want to hear me read it, I don't know about that. Maybe. No, we don't judge. You didn't judge me saying I'm going to Blue Flame when I get to Atlanta, and then I'm about to go get a Krispy Kreme. I didn't say that. Whoops. Yeah, man. And I'm going to get a Krispy Kreme donut on the way to downtown LA. Any other questions before we get out of here? I appreciate y'all rocking with me. You have no idea how you being in the room when I'm doing a live or you watching the live later helps us. And me and all the guys are trying to monetize our YouTube because it's the best platform and it's the hardest. So, yeah. Any questions before I get out of here? All right. I'm about to post probably something funny to the story, maybe a new picture that y'all haven't seen. I did a photo shoot on Sunday with the guys, and I was wearing a suit, and there's a picture that I love. I also have some funny stuff I want to post in the story. I have to post my gratitude of the day. So, if you're chilling or eating dinner or in the bed watching TV or whatever, winding down, the gratitude video is going to come up probably in the next 30 minutes. But yeah, I'll be back here Thursday with the podcast with the fellas. I don't know which of the guys will be here next week, but I'll be here talking about the stuff that we talk about maleness and masculinity and brotherhood and all the stuff about man stuff. And also plan on starting to go live, just randomly editing videos, talking about content. Yeah, man, life be life. It's definitely life right now. But I ain't giving up. Any questions over here? Nope. All right, I think we're out of here. Please enjoy the rest of the night. Take care of yourself. Reach out to somebody that you love, that you miss, that you care about. Tell them that you feel how you feel. Cute, end of the road. Yeah, you got to get that one. I used to want to be a singer, and I always listened to R&B groups, and I listened to the deep voice character. Life's daddy is Mike Tyson. Wild. He'd be looking tail. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all on another platform another day. See y'all. Take care of yourself.